My fiancé didn't notice I was crying at our engagement party until a stranger asked if I was okay. Then he finally looked at me. My fiancé Trevor spent 3 months planning our engagement party down to every last detail, from the color-coordinated napkins to the custom cocktails named after us. What he didn't plan for was actually spending time with me during the event, which became painfully clear about 20 minutes after guests started arriving at the upscale restaurant he'd rented out for the evening. I stood near the entrance greeting people I barely knew while Trevor worked the room like he was running for office, shaking hands and telling the proposal story to anyone who would listen. His version was polished and romantic, complete with perfectly timed pauses for laughter, but it left out the part where I'd had to prompt him twice to actually say the words because he kept talking about the ring's clarity rating instead. Every time I tried to catch his eye across the room, he was deep in conversation with someone from his law firm or his college buddies, gesturing enthusiastically with his champagne glass and never once glancing in my direction. His mother, Constance, swooped in after about 30 minutes, air-kissing both my cheeks while holding her phone at arm's length to capture the moment for her social media followers. "Darling, you look lovely, though I do wish you'd gone with the Vera Wang dress I sent you the link for," she said, adjusting the neckline of my dress without asking permission. "This is a bit too simple for such an important occasion, don't you think?" Before I could respond, she was already pulling me toward a group of her country club friends, introducing me as Trevor's fiancé, while somehow making it sound like a temporary position I was auditioning for, rather than a commitment we'd both made. The women asked polite questions about wedding plans, and I tried to answer enthusiastically, even though Trevor and I hadn't actually discussed any details beyond agreeing we should probably get married sometime next year. "We're thinking maybe a spring wedding," I offered, and Constance immediately corrected me with a patronizing laugh. "Oh no, dear. Spring is far too soon. We'll need at least 18 months to plan something appropriate for the family, probably a fall wedding in 2 years. She turned to her friends and stage whispered, "She's still learning how these things work." I excused myself to get another drink, fighting the tightness in my throat that always appeared when Constance talked about me like I was a particularly slow student in a class she was forced to teach. At the bar, Trevor's college roommate Nathan ordered shots for himself and his girlfriend while barely acknowledging my presence, even though we'd met at least 5 times before. His girlfriend Melissa gave me a sympathetic smile that suggested she knew exactly how invisible I felt, but wasn't sure how to help. I ordered a wine I didn't really want and turned to scan the room for Trevor, finally spotting him in the corner with his arm around his best man Christopher, both of them laughing at something on Christopher's phone. The bartender set down my wine with a concerned expression, probably because I was gripping the edge of the bar hard enough that my knuckles had gone white. I paid for the drink I wouldn't finish and made my way to the bathroom, needing just 5 minutes away from the performance of being the happy bride-to-be. The bathroom was one of those fancy restaurant ones with actual furniture and soft lighting, designed to make you forget you were in a room meant for bodily functions. I sat on the velvet ottoman in the corner and finally let myself acknowledge what had been building all evening. This party wasn't about us or our relationship or celebrating a future together. It was about Trevor showing off for his parents and his colleagues, proving he'd successfully checked another box on the path to partnership at his firm. The engagement itself had felt the same way, executed at the exact restaurant where his parents had gotten engaged, with his whole family coincidentally present because his mother had insisted on planning a birthday dinner for his father on the same night. I should have seen the pattern then, but I'd convinced myself I was being too sensitive, that this was just how his family operated.